In this code example, we have two functions, one called foo and another called bar. When we execute this code, the execution happens sequentially, or if we want to say it in a synchronous way. First, the function that is called first, which is bar, it's executed, and then the function foo is executed. And as we can see, because I added that thread name, both execute within the main thread. If we wanted to have an asynchronous execution, this would mean that the function foo, for example, or the function bar, should be detached from that main thread and execute independently in parallel. And the advantage of this is that it will not have to wait for the execution of the other function in order to execute its code. So to do this in Kotlin, we use coroutines. To use those coroutines, we need to add a library, which is highlighted there. We need to add Kotlin X coroutines core. Once we add that, we import it. So I'm going to import here Kotlin X coroutines, and in order to make a coroutine execution, we need to make the function. Let's say if I wanted to make this bar execute in a separate thread, I need to use the suspend keyword. When I use this suspend keyword, the compilation will fail, and this is because a coroutine can only be called from within another coroutine. So we need to put it in a coroutine scope. So to do that, we do this. We say global scope dot launch, and in here we add the suspended functions. And now if we were to execute this, we would see that now it's running detached, but because the foo function and the main function, so the main thread, is way faster than this worker, so it's not giving it time to complete, so we don't see the second output. So we can trick that, do add a little trick, and add a little thread dot sleep of 1000, and now we will see actually the output from both threads, the main thread and the worker thread, which is processing the bar function. So this is coroutines, the very basic introduction. There is a thing called dispatchers. So coroutines have dispatchers, and I'm not gonna talk about them now, but I'm just gonna say that if we add here with context, we can choose the dispatcher that we want to use for our execution. We have three dispatchers: the IO, main, and default. This is the one that is used by default, and this is just how we would include the dispatcher. In another video, I will talk about the differences with each dispatcher. So this is it. That's the introduction to the first introduction to coroutines.